Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1997 movie Scream 2. The movie is directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson, who also directed and wrote the first movies. In this movie, Sydney and her friends have moved on from everything that happened in the first movie. It's set like 2 years afterwards, and she's in college and everything. And Gale Weathers had wrote a book about everything that happened in Woodsboro and everything, and because of the book's popularity, it got turned into a movie called Stab, and a couple of copycat killers had started killing people and everything, and they're targeting Sydney and her friends again after and everything. And so pretty much this movie, they're trying to figure out who the killers are and everything, and we find out that it's Mrs. Loomis, who was Billy's mother from the first movie, Billy's mother, and a guy named Mickey, who's one of their classmates that's obsessed with horror movies and everything, and he's just wanting to do it to become famous and everything, and blame movies for people being psychotic and everything. His motivations are kind of dull, but Mrs. Loomis is wanting revenge because of Sydney's mom sleeping with her husband and ruining their relationship, and then Sydney killing Billy at the end of the first movie. But this one is a really good sequel. I know they wrote it really fast. I don't think the movie was even finished being written when they started filming it, but I think they did a really good job with everything on it. The cast is really great in this, especially Neve Campbell. I think she's a lot better in this one than she was the first one, and she was good in the first one. David Arquette and Courtney Cox are both better in this. I like how at first Gale Weathers is kind of stuck up and stuff, and everyone kind of is mad at her because she wrote the book and everything, and it kind of made everybody look bad. But I thought that was but I think that the relationship between her and Dewey is done pretty good in this movie in ways, but I also think it's kind of weird that they would end up getting back together after everything she did and everything. The new cast, oh yeah, and Jamie Kennedy's also in this. He's really good. Once again, as Randy, steals every scene he's in and everything. And then the new cast is really good too. Jerry O'Connell plays Derek Feldman, who is Sydney's new boyfriend, which I think it's kind of weird that she's already dating again after the events of the first movie. I would think after what Billy did and everything, she wouldn't want to date again for a much longer time than 2 years, but I guess everyone's different. But and Elise Neal plays her best friend Haley. Sarah Michelle Gellar is in this. She plays Cece, one of their classmates. She's not in this movie a whole lot, unfortunately. She's only in there for a couple of scenes. The big scene where she gets killed off, and then a little brief scene earlier in the movie when Cece's death scene is pretty cool and everything, but I wish she would have lived a little bit longer into the movie. She's one of the first ones to get killed. I'm huge fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar and everything. I would have liked to see her in the movie a lot more than she was in it. And then the killers are played by Timothy Olyphant. He plays Mickey. He's like obsessed with horror movies, but he's also obsessed with blaming the media and becoming famous, or blaming movies to become famous, and everything being the reason why he's a killer. And everything he actually wants to get caught so he can become famous and blame movies and everything, which I think is really crazy and everything. But I know there are people that have actually done terrible crimes and stuff and blame movies, and the movies have been blamed for it. So also Liev Schreiber is back in a much bigger role as Cotton Weary. Cotton Weary's kind of annoying because he's one of those that he's one of the ones that likes all of the press and attention he's getting for being wrongly convicted and everything. But he is a good character, and there's a few parts in the movie where it makes you wonder, okay, is he actually the killer now or is he not, and everything. So I liked how they wrote his character in this. And then Laurie Metcalf, who is most known for playing Aunt Jackie on Roseanne and The Conners, plays Miss Loomis, and throughout most of the movie she goes by Debbie Salt, and she's pretending to be like an investigative reporter like Gail and everything, and she fits the role so good and everything. She does a really good job being crazy and everything. And her performance is just really good in this. But I really like this movie for the most part. It's pretty fast paced. There is, like the first movie, there is a little bit of pacing issues where it does get a little bit slow during the middle of it, but it's still a lot of fun. It has a pretty fun opening too, where Jada Pinkett Smith and Omar Epps are at a premiere special screening of Stab and everything, and they get killed off at the very beginning of the movie, and it's kind of, they would like the first murders that happen from and everything. But I think that the opening was pretty good. I still like the opening in the first movie a little bit better with Drew Barrymore, but the second one had a really good opening and everything. And the kills in this are pretty good. I think my favorite one is probably the cop on the car. That Ghostface is driving the cop car and smashes him into a bunch of stuff, and like this pole thing goes through his head. I think that was a pretty cool kill. Also a lot. Cece's kill was cool, but it went by a little bit too quick for me and everything. And she pretty much did all the stereotypical horror tropes of running up the stairs and all that, which I thought was amusing, but it was also, I also wish that it would have lasted a little bit longer. The only kill that I really didn't like was Randy, because I hated seeing him get killed off, because he really was a good character and one of my favorite characters from the first movie. I hated that he didn't make it all the way to the end of the trilogy, although he does have a cameo appearance in the next one, which I'll talk about in that review. But this is overall this is a really good sequel. It's almost as good as the first, not quite as good. I think the ending wasn't quite as good as the first one's was, and I think that Billy and Stu were better at as the killers and everything. But Miss Loomis was really good, and Mickey was crazy as heck and everything. Timothy Olyphant does a really great job playing crazy bad guys and everything. And the score by this is once again done by the original guy from the first movie, Marco Beltrami. Sorry if I keep butchering his name. And it's good. I think it's actually a little bit better in this one than it was the first. Um, I think, I don't know though, because the first one's score was really good too, but I think this one, the score was a lot better, and I think the cinematography was a lot better in this, in the college setting and stuff. Um, but I'd give Scream 2 a 9.5 out of 10 because I enjoyed it for the most part, the and everything, and I think it was a pretty good sequel and everything, and so. But if there's any top 10 lists or movie series rankings or movie reviews you want me to do, let me know in the comments and I'll get to them as quick as I can. And I'll have my Scream 3 review up sometime either later tonight or tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day.